welcome to the Knitting Game and other stuff. I am Lesley, your host, and this is episode 44 for December 11th, 2012. So today is 12/11/12, so I like palindromes. I thought that was just neat. I like numbers. Phone numbers and things like that. I do math problems in my head to remember pin numbers and all sorts of stuff. So I never actually remember the number. It's always the math problem that I remember. It's just weird. So hi everybody. It's a short week. Usually I record on Wednesdays, which is tomorrow, but my husband's company Christmas party is tomorrow and we are going to be doing that. So I am going to record tonight so that you all can get your knitting game fix and get it on time. Surprise, surprise. So, getting into it, if you want to get a hold of me or read the show notes, see the episodes, go to myordinaryjourney.com. It's all one word right there. And there you will find everything you could possibly ever want to find and get to know me and all that sort of good stuff. So getting right into it, my tab is out of juice right now, so I will be using my lovely Galaxy S2 phone from AT&T. No product placement there, everybody. Everybody's doing it. Have you noticed that? Every show is a commercial now. Every one of them. You know what I noticed? It started with American Idol and Coke, and they have the little Coke glasses on the American Idol table. Now it's Ford is the car in Fringe, and Sprint is the phone in Fringe, and on Suburgatory it's the new Windows tablet thing, the Surface. So it's very commercial and it's annoying me. So it's kind of random, I'm sorry. Anyway, so I'm using my phone tonight for my show notes rather than the computer, which is kind of weird, or my tab, which is upstairs charging because I forgot to charge it and it kind of died on me. I would like to start off by welcoming our newest members to the Knitting Game and Other Stuff Ravelry board. We are at 146, so 5 more, and it'll be a prize. I will do a membership milestone for the 150th member to join our little group. So yay. And I would like to start by saying hello and welcome to Drew Stiffer, that is Drew, and Dragon Tamer Rat, Amanda, Crochet Lily is Rebecca, and Sheep Dreamery, that's Kelly. So hi guys, welcome. I hope you have a lot of fun and you're enjoying watching the Knitting Game, either post episodes, back episodes, or new episodes, any of the episodes. We do have a cavalcade of birthdays this week, yay! So we've got ND Jen 04, that's Jen, Yarn Seeker, that is Susan, Janet 93 is Janet, and one of our new members that I welcomed last week is Sayo Bahan 53, and that is Jan. So happy birthday everybody. I hope it's a good one. Yay. I like birthdays. Except when they're mine, because I don't like getting older. I love it that my nieces and nephews are still kind of small. My kids are older, so they just want really expensive electronics. My little nephew, he is awesome because all he wants is cars and Legos, and he loves tearing through wrapping paper just as much as he likes getting the stuff. It's great. So we live vicariously through my nephew right now for Christmas and birthdays. So a quick shout out. It is not the end of the year yet. You guys have some time, and the reason why I mentioned that is because Inked Knits on Etsy, and there is a link to the shop, is offering the viewers of the Knitting Game a 15% off coupon code through the end of the year. And that would be Knit Game, KNITGAME, all one word. You enter that at checkout on their Etsy shop and you get 15% off. And some beautiful stuff. I might say some of their Christmas colorways are kind of fetching. Very fetching. So as you can see, maybe, I have no question of the week this week. So let me think. I really didn't think about much this week, except I get music stuck in my head all the time. And right now it seems to be Rihanna, Pink, and Bruno Mars. For some reason, the three of them keep getting stuck in my head. So I guess, do you guys ever get songs stuck in your head? And if you do, how do you get rid of them? Can you get rid of them, or does it just transfer to a different song? Is there always a song in your head? You know, you hear about a song in your heart. I always have one in my head, especially in the shower in the morning. Sometimes when you hear, when you're reading my shower thoughts and you see the song names or an artist, it's because I'm thinking of one of their songs while I'm in the shower, and that's what I'm thinking about. Is the endless loop of their song constantly going. Today it's Ho Hey by that one group, the Dragonette. No, I don't know what it is, but it's Ho Hey or Hey Ho. It sounds kind of like Mumford & Son or Home by Philip Phillips. It's kind of got that indie Irish folky music thing going on. So yeah, that's what I have stuck in my head today, right now. So, question of the week. Do you have a song in your head? All right. So now we are going to move on to the knitting game portion of the show. So some of you may be new and you're wondering, what is this knitting game and what is it all about? So I haven't explained in a while, so I'm going to take this opportunity, because it's going to be a short show today, and explain what the knitting game is. Almost a year ago, last January, at the end of January, I was sitting here in my studio and I was doing a sewing project. And I was sitting here and I was faced towards my ironing board and I was ironing, and I was facing my bookshelf that has all of my library, which has been described better than the book selection at Barnes & Noble for knitting books. I don't know about that, but it's pretty good. It's kind of eclectic and there's a little bit of everything. But I was sitting here and I was looking at these books and I'm pointing to them. You can't see them. They're just right off camera. They're a whole shelf or two. And I started thinking, I haven't knit anything from these books. And I have all these books. I'm always asking for new books. That's what my husband gets me for birthdays, anniversaries, Valentine's Day, Christmas. I get books, the knitting books. So I decided to take a book off of the shelf and I wanted to knit from it. But I wanted to share my knitting with everybody. So here's how the idea of the podcast kind of came about. And it evolved into this thing called the knitting game. So I take one of these books and I find 5 patterns. Usually it's 5 patterns. And we've had some variation on the show, but usually it's 5. And what I do is I put the first 2 patterns of the 5 up for a vote in round 1. And I let the viewers, you guys, vote on which pattern you like the best. So at the end of round 1, the winner, the champion, moves on to round 2, and I take another one of those 5 patterns, so the third one, and I make that the challenger, and it goes up against the champion. So we have about 4 rounds, so it takes about a month to do one of these knitting game things. So at the end of the 4th round, the winner is going to be the overall champion, and that's what I'll knit. Now, I may not finish it right away, but I will knit on it until I decide I just can't, because it's driving me crazy. And the whole point of this was to give a little more in-depth information about the pattern so you guys can come to enjoy it and understand it. If you want to knit along, you have the opportunity to knit along. Even though some of these patterns are from books, most of them are from books, some of the time you can purchase the patterns a la carte from the designer. So you can knit along without actually purchasing the whole book if you'd like. So that is where the knitting game came from. So this week we are in round 4. I'm going to be announcing the winner from the 4th round of the 1+1 Scarves, Shawls, and Shrugs. It's 25 projects for 2 skeins of yarn. So kind of like One Skein Wonders is for just 1 skein. These are 2, and the whole idea is to mix and match different yarns to produce an interesting effect or design element, or just a different look. It's something a little different. It's not expected. So let's get going. The 4th round this week was between the Smart Shawl by Lynn Wilson and the Exotic Draped Ruffle by Tanya Albert. So the winner of round 4 and the overall champion, so one of the next things that I will knit, because I'm not starting a new project until after the holidays, all right, will be, with 62% of the vote, the Exotic Draped Ruffle. All right, well, this is pretty cool because I don't think we've ever had this happen. The Exotic Draped Ruffle has won every week. So it has gone all 4 rounds of the knitting game as the champion. You guys clearly like that above all of the other choices. And I have to say, I am a little teensy-weensy sad that the Smart Shawl didn't win, because that is the pattern that caught my eye and the whole reason why I bought the book in the first place. But that's okay, because that's not to say I can't knit it later on. So I am going to be on the hunt for my 2 skeins of yarn, and I will start that after the holidays. So yay for the Exotic Draped Ruffle. Some, I guess, particulars about the pattern. It takes a DK weight yarn. The needle size is a size 9, and it takes about 277 yards of yarn. I'm guessing it's a pretty quick knit with the fact that it's a DK weight. It's a little heavier. The yarn suggestions from the author for the pattern is Art Yarns Regal Silk and Art Yarns Beaded Mohair and Sequins. So I'm guessing a shimmery, shiny yarn with the mohair gives it a little halo, and the sequins a little pop of sparkle and shine. So if I didn't want to use Art Yarns, I will have to find something comparable. So I'll have to look at the content and the characteristics of the yarn. So in this particular instance, I don't usually use the yarn that is suggested by a pattern author because I like to use the yarn I have. So usually if I have yarn that I don't have a particular project for, I will find a pattern for it. Or if I find a pattern, I'll try to find something in my stash that is pretty close. And there's several tutorials out there about how to substitute yarns. If you get adventurous enough to stray off of that designer suggestion, check some of those out, because they do have some really great tips. And there's one, the book with the hat, with the glass house hat. I don't remember which, the Weekend Hats. Weekend Hats, the glass house hat, which is, I'll give you an update here in a second, has a really great tutorial in it on how to pick substitute yarns. Alright, so enough of that. So the Exotic Draped Ruffle, keep an eye out for that. Updates. The Easy 100th Anniversary Half Circle Camping Shawl. I haven't touched it since Thanksgiving. I know it's like 3 weeks ago, and I feel really kind of bad about that. I need to get on it because that is going to be a gift for someone, and I need to finish it. So, but first things first. I'm kind of going in order of who's going to get what first and how much. Like, there's one gift where I know it's not going to take me any time to do, but it comes before, the person that's going to get it is going to get it before the person that's going to get the shawl. So I'll probably work on the shawl next and whip out that quick little one before it's, I can wrap that up on Christmas Eve. So, and the person that's going to get this next gift is going to get it before the person that's going to get the shawl. So I'm prioritizing. I'm going to be a monogamous knitter from now until I get all my holiday stuff done, because I got to get my holiday stuff done. And I kind of took a side road here with a knitting project, but I knocked that out fairly quickly, and I think I'll be able to catch up and get everything done. So nothing on the anniversary shawl. I am working on my glass hood hat. I can't say it without sounding angry. But it is the Glass House hat, and that is from Weekend Hats. It is a Knitting Game winner, champion. So not only did everybody get to vote on the pattern, they also voted on the yarn that I'm using. So the yarn that was chosen is, everybody wanted to see me use hand spun. So I'm using, this is Wool Gatherings. It is a super fine 100% merino. It is not superwash, so the recipient is going to have to be very gentle with the washing of the hat. So here is where I am, and if you can see, look at this beautiful stitch marker. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bang the table. That is from Hide and Sheep, and oh, I think it's so pretty. It's a Swarovski crystal ball with this little green charm, and it is so pretty. I'm a sucker for the Swarovski crystals. So that's where the beginning of my round is, and as you can see, it is coming along. The Glass House hat is coming along. I don't want to drop any stitches, but I want to spread it out wide enough so you can get a sense of the pattern. So if you notice the bottom here of the brim, it's a solid pink. That is knit pallets that I held double because it's a fingering weight, and this one calls for like a DK sport weight. So the pallet is kind of like a light fingering to me, so it was pretty close for the gauge, held double. And then as I came out of the brim, I started with the hand spun, and that's where the patterning started, the cable work. But it was only the first 7 rows, and those are increase rows, so it's not straight patterning. There are increases in there, and then you change needles after you get done with the increases to a bigger size needle for the body of the hat, and that's where I am now, and I'm only a couple of rows in. But as you can see, it is starting to take some shape. And what's really interesting with this, because it is hand spun and I did it just off the braid, and then I Navajo plied it, so it's a 3-ply. It almost seems that in each round I'm changing colors, and I'm kind of almost getting a Fair Isle effect. It kind of tricks the eye. I'm not doing any color work at all, but it really does, because you flip back and forth on the colors. So I think that's kind of a neat thing. The stitch definition is really great. I did a good job, if I do say so myself. But you kind of lose sight of the cable pattern. It's kind of hard to see with all the colors happening. So I guess we'll have to see how that turns out. But that's where I am. I've finished the round, the brim increases, and I'm working on the body of the hat. And as always, the Sensual Knits knitting game is on hold until after the holidays. So now I will move on to just my regular knitting works in progress. I didn't work on the Augusta fingerless gloves. Those are waiting until I get done with the glass house hat. The cool house hat that I'm knitting for a friend of mine's wife who's going through chemo. Her hat's on hold right now until I kind of get through the Christmas stuff. And my Don't Cage Me in socks, well, they have been caged temporarily until I can get done. I have a lot I have to do. And I'm also joining in the Downton Abbey knit along from Jimmy Bean's Wool. It's a mystery KAL, and that starts, I believe, on January 6th. It's a Sunday. The first bits of clues come out on Sunday. If you don't know about it, I'll put a link in the show notes. I haven't, but I will. It's Jimmy Bean's Wool. The yarn is going to be specially dyed by Lorna's Laces. It's their sport weight, and it's called Christmas at Downton. And it is so my colors. I love them. So that particular colorway is on back order. I don't mind. I'm going to wait. So, what I have been working on, because I didn't do too much on the hat, but what I did do, and I do have a finished object, is my crosswords at the coffee shop is finished. It's blocked. The ends are woven in, and here you go. This is it. If you're watching for the first time and you don't understand the significance of the pattern, the designer, Carrie, or Knit Pearl Girl as she's known in the knitting community, passed away unexpectedly right after Thanksgiving. And this is one of her designs, and there's kind of a informal, loose knit-along going on right now in honor of her memory. And it's crosswords at the coffee shop. So this one is finished. I knit it using my own hand-spun yarn, and it's a colonial, and you will not get to see how beautiful this yarn is because it just does not show up. It's a really dark green, but there are flecks of jewel tones: red, blue, oranges, lighter greens, yellows. It's just a very wonderful rainbow of colors, but it's set against this really dark green, and it is absolutely beautiful. Now I have another little skein of this in addition to this what I have caked right now, so I'm thinking I'm going to turn this into a set of matching fingerless mitts. Carrie, when she has the little opening introduction for the pattern, talks about having the shawl and having a pair of fingerless mitts on while drinking coffee and doing crosswords at the coffee shop. So my crosswords is finished, and it smells, oh my god, I love it. I love the way my wool wash, and it's the unscented wool wash, but I just love the way the wool smells with it. So I do have a finished object. I did not spin at all this week. Been too busy. And I have done sewing. There was a few more orders this week. Yay! I finally got that whole postal thing screw up figured out. So everybody should have their packages now. There is a shop update Friday. I'm only going to do, well, I might do two. I have to go and see if I can pick up some more holiday hooters. There has been a request for holiday hooters, and if I can get my hands on some more, there will be some holiday hooters to be had. And then the other, this will be the last of the Christmas themed fabric. Not winter, but maybe Christmas theme. It's, I'm going to call it Reindeer Games. It's little Rudolph or reindeer print with presents and everything. So, and it feels really nice. So this is going to be Reindeer Games, and I have enough to do two. So it's going to have this red lining. So you get to choose zipper or drawstring, slouchy or structured. So that is all I have for this week. I'm hoping it was a little bit of a shorter show because I got lots to do. So I hope you guys have a great week. There is no voting this week because I announced the winner. So you guys can take the week off and relax, no pressure. And I will be back next week and we will have some voting, but it is going to be a little different. I'm going to change it up next week. So stay tuned for that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So have a great week. Keep cranking away if you haven't already. You've got like 14 days left to shop or something like that crazy for Christmas. If you haven't started yet, you probably might want to get to it if you can. Other than that, I hope you guys have a really great week and I hope you enjoy it. So thank you for stopping by and visiting. Bye.